Hello guys, today I'm going to be starting a new series on the channel called Battlefield 4 Loadout. Now in this series what I'm going to be talking about is a specific country, and I'm going to be making a class about it. And with this class, I'm not only going to be talking about the weapons that I have, some stats for Battlefield 4, I'll also be talking about the country's, some facts about the country, some interesting facts about the country, and anything of the sorts that you can practically think of, I'll try to cover myself. I'll be covering multiple facts about the country. I'll be picking the ones that I deem worthy and the ones that maybe aren't so, but just to put in there that may interest some of you, may or may not. But without further ado, let's start with my country, Belgium. To get the formalities out of the way, yes, I do speak English and French fluently. An example of French is Bonjour, mon nom c'est Richard Marquet, j'habite dans l'Amérique. Ma famille vient de la Belgique, l'Espagne, la France, partout dans l'Europe. And that's practically an example of French. Si tu sais parler le français et tu me comprends maintenant, parle avec moi un tout petit peu. Je m'en fous complètement. L'anglais, le français, tout marche. So pretty much what I just said there is if you can speak French or English, talk to me. If you speak French, talk to me in French. English, doesn't matter. I appeal to everybody. So yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. To start this off, I'm going to be giving this thing a name, and the name I've given to this is for Belgian forces. The Belgian forces in this class loadout will have an F2000 and an FN57. And to be specific, the F2000 will contain its own specific scope because it's only equipped for the F2000, which the scope itself is also only Belgium made, which is the F2000 scope itself, which is just called F2000 1.6 times. Interestingly enough, the scope itself is, like I said before, only made for the F2000 and is a factory standard equipment for most Belgian forces that use the F2000. It is made for close range and optical view. This scope in itself is used for people who aren't in a situation to run into a specific scenario. And since Belgium has many open courtyard fields, this scope is relatively well used. Deemed because we don't want too big of a scope, because there are areas where we do have buildings that are kind of tall. So this is a very interesting scope that was, in my opinion, actually well designed for the country itself. Not only for the United States, maybe Germany or anything like that that may work in an area. The F2000 scope itself would seem to have been made to fight in its own country, which is pretty interestingly enough to note. I also attached a laser sight to this F2000 and a heavy barrel, all alongside with the angled grip. With this as well, I have taken the quick response camo just for fun, between other people. I've also chosen, like I said before, an FN57. The FN57 has no attachments to it. I just have it stock with, again, the quick response camo to it. With this, I've also taken a medic bag, a defibrillator, a B40 mini, which comes with 2 at a class, a knife, the knife being the Weaver, or also known as a Huntsman knife, and for the field upgrade, I took the combat medic upgrade. The F2000 has a max damage of 24 and has a minimal damage at 18. It starts to drop off at 8mm and the drop off end ends at 55mm. The fire rate is at 850 rounds per minute and of course stays the same at burst. The muzzle velocity is at 600 meters per second and the muzzle velocity suppressed is at 320 meters per second. The bullet drop off is 15mm squared, technically, just because we're in a zone. You understand that. The max size is technically 31, and the projectile that the bullet uses itself is actually a 5.56 times 45 NATO. So pretty interesting there. The F2000 also boasts a 0.3 recoil up, 0.375 left, and 0.275 right. Recoil decreases to 18, and the first shot multiplier is 3. Spread increase on this one is 0.11, the spread decrease is 15, the ADS not moving is 0.25, and the ADS moving is 0.8. Now moving on to the FN57, the max damage is 22, the minimal damage is 12.1, the drop-off start is 8mm, and the drop-off end is 60mm. The fire rate is 455 rounds per minute, and the fire rate while burst is, of course, 455 rounds per minute as well. The muzzle velocity is 430 meters per second, and the muzzle velocity suppressed is 460 meters per second. The bullet drop-off is 15 meters per second, and the mag size is 21. The projectile is 57 times 28 millimeters for a pistol, and the reload times are 1.47 empty, 1.25 when you have something left, and the reload threshold is 0.9. The recoil up is 0.7, left is 0.1, and it stays the same for the right. The recoil decrease is 20, and the first shot multiplier is 1. Moving on to the good part, let's get to the facts. Now on for the first fact. French-speaking Belgium is the world's biggest producer of comics per capita. There are over 800 kinds of beers made in Belgium. Belgians consume an average of 150 liters of beer per person every year. The world's first beer academy opened in Herk de Stad in Belgium province in Limburg in 1999. Jean Nouhous invented, or as we say in Belgium, les pralines, which are chocolates, in Brussels in 1912. Belgium produces 220,000 tons of chocolate per year. This amounts to 22 kilograms of chocolate per inhabitant annually, also known as 61 grams per day in average. The world's biggest chocolate selling port is in Brussels National Airport. Belgians have claimed to have invented chips, also known as French fries, and indeed about all towns and villages have their own French fries, or as we say in French, des frites. There are three main sorts of Belgian waffles, as many may not know. There's the Liège waffles, which are the most common, the Brussels waffles, which are bigger, lighter, more rectangular, and eaten with toppings such as strawberries, ice cream, blueberries, anything like that, and les gaillettes. The gaillettes. I don't know how to say that in English. I couldn't tell you. They are thinner, softer, and typically eaten for breakfast. Some with jam, not as common, but they are nothing to do with Little Brittany and are kind of a pancake if you're to think of that. Little Brittany can also go with a French gaillette, which are nothing similar to a Belgian gaillette, or one, as we would say, a Belgian waffle. Belgium has one of the lowest proportion of McDonald's restaurants per inhabitant in the developed world, with only 0.062 per 10,000 people, or 7 times less than the United States of America, 4 times less than Japan, and twice less than France or Germany. The Foire du Librement is the largest architectural, forestry, and agri-food fair in Europe. Now moving on to law and government, Belgium has legalized enthusiasm, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, in 2002 and gay marriage in 2003. Belgium became the world's first country to ban cluster bombs and the second to ban forced marriages in 2006. Belgium was the world's first country along with Italy to introduce electronic ID cards in March of 2003. It will also be the first European country to issue EIDs to the entire population of Belgium. Belgium was the first country in the world to issue electronic passports. This is also complying with the recommendations of the International Civil Aviation Organization, also known as ICAO. Belgium is the country with the highest proportion of female ministers in the world. This was about 55% in 2000, and it is one of the earliest in the world to have a female parliamentarian. This, of course, actually happened in 1921. Belgium is one of the rare countries with compulsory education up to 18 years, and at the moment is the highest in the world. Compulsory education is all it's saying is it's required to have, required. Belgium is one of the few countries in the world to have compulsory voting as well, which means it is enforced. You must vote. It is legal to have up to 3 grams of cannabis in Belgium. An average of 24 million tablets of ecstasy are consumed in Belgium every year. Tax levels in Belgium are among the highest on the planet. There are about 40% of gross earnings given up in tax for a single income family. A study for about 2005 showed that Belgium had the highest average income tax out of 30 OECD countries. Total taxation represents 45.6% of the country's GDP. This inheritance tax can reach up to 80%, which is insane. The royal family alone receives 12 million euros of taxpayers of money each year. Belgium is the country that grants the most new citizenships per capita in the world after Canada. Does that also make it the second nicest country in the world? Probably not. Belgium was elected 9 times at the UN Security Council in 1947, 48, 55, 56, 71, 72, 91, 92, and in 2007. The 9th highest score worldwide Belgium has been elected more times than Germany, Spain, Mexico, Australia, or Indonesia. Now on to construction and transportation. The Belgian motorway system is the only man-made structure visible from the moon. This of course is at night due to the lights all along the motorway network. Belgium is the world's third country with the most vehicles per square kilometers after the Netherlands and Japan. It has the highest density of roads and the highest density of railroads in the world. I can confirm this because when I go to Belgium every year, it is a pain in the ass. Cars everywhere. Small roads, a lot of cars everywhere. A 2006 survey revealed that only 11% of car commuter to Brussels would choose to use the train if it was free. The longest tramway line in the world is the Belgian Coast Tram, 68 kilometers, which opened in 1885 and operates between Depan and Knokke Eist, and from the French border to the Dutch border. The world record of acceleration from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 3.266 seconds is held by the Vertigo, the only Belgian sports car on the planet. Europe's first modern health resort opened in Spa in the 18th century. Europe's first casino, La Redoute, opened in 1763 in Spa. The Law Courts of Brussels is the largest court of justice in the world, with a built land area of 26,000 meters squared at ground level, bigger than St. Peter's Basilica in Rome, which is 21,000 meters squared. The Association of the European Airports reported that Brussels National Airport was the most punctual of the 27 largest European airports in 2006. The Royal Palace of Brussels, built in a similar way as Buckingham Palace, was facade 50% longer than its British equivalent. 80% of billiard players use Belgian-made balls. Belgium produces the greatest variety of bricks in the world. Weird, right? The largest Freemasson temple on the European continent is the Great Temple in Brussels. Brussels is not only the capital of Belgium, but it is also the capital of the entire European continent. Now moving on to people and society. In 70 years of existence, 200 million books of the adventures of Tintin have been sold worldwide. And from personal experience, many of my family members who live in Belgium are dead in love with this series. They're in love with the book, the movie, they're in love with everything. It is a huge thing in Belgium. According to a 2007 European Commission report, Belgium has the lowest salary gap between men and women. This is just behind Malta, where actually, proportionally, there are fewer women to work. How about for some history and culture? Neanderthal skulls were first discovered in Belgian village of Ingus, suburb of Liège. In 1829, although, the name comes from the Neander Valley in Germany, the site of a later find in 1856. Charles Martel, 686 to 741, saved Europe from Islamization by defeating the invading Muslims of the Battle of Poitiers in 732. He also is the founder of the Carolingian dynasty. He was born in Herstal, near Liège. Belgian painters are credited to have invented oil painting in the 15th century. There are 3 official languages of Belgium: Dutch, also known as Flemish, French, and 0.6 of the population actually speak German, which I have not encountered yet. Well, I technically have, but everyone who speaks German in Belgium usually speaks at least French or Flemish. To start off, I'll give you a few famous Belgian companies that you may not have known were Belgium. Côte d'Or, Gardeva is a good one. Gullian, I'm trying to put this kind of in an English tone so you guys can kind of understand. Lyonnaise, that's kind of bad, my bad. Pierre Marcolin, Pierre, I think I already mentioned that. Spa, Quick, the fast food restaurant, which is mostly just in Europe though. Nathan, which is a fashion house. Van Hool, Solvay Group, which is an international chemical pharmaceutical company. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Didn't think Belgium had many of those. Then that's going to end it off for today's Belgian Forces and Belgium Facts video. I hope that this video may teach you a little bit more about Belgium that you may not know. I know it's a very small country. In fact, it is smaller than Georgia, the United States of America, if you did not know, which is big compared to Belgium, but it is smaller than that. But Belgium has pretty interesting things that you can learn from it. It has a lot of things that we do today actually comes from Belgium, and a lot of things that you eat are Belgian made, which is pretty cool. I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed the facts learned about Belgium. Be sure to rate, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and please tell me what loadout I should do next. I really want to know what country to do, the name of the loadout, and the guns I should be using. Please tell me a strategy that you want me to use to the class if potentially necessary, or if you want to. And if so, if I like the class enough, which I most likely will, because I love people's ideas, it will be chosen and put on the next episode. I will also say the username and the user, or the user, that has given me this idea and has given me the loadout itself. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next Battlefield 4 loadout video. Peace.